Hey guys, and welcome to the very last day of my BookTube birthday week of videos. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite comfort TV shows. Now I wanted to make this video because I feel like for the past couple of months I keep telling you guys I haven't been reading that much, but I've been watching TV. And when I say I've been watching TV, I'm not like watching what's ever on, but I'm returning to a few specific favorite TV shows that just put me in a better headspace and that kind of tune out the rest of reality for a little bit. I probably should mention that these are not what you would stereotypically think of when you think of comforting television. In fact, you guys might think I'm insane, but regardless, these are the shows that I go back to again and again, and so let's just get into them. So first of all, I need to mention that I am a massive Dick Wolf fangirl, so any of his Law & Order shows I'm down for, and any of his Chicago shows I'm also down for. I will say that my absolute favorite Law & Order is the original Law & Order series, in which they focused mainly on the actual court case rather than on the police work, but unfortunately, that show got canceled years and years ago, and I can't seem to find a place where I can stream it online. So if you guys have any tips on that, please let me know. I might just have to cave and actually like go find the DVD box series somewhere. But honestly, that was when I first got into Law & Order, was by watching that show, and I really think that was one of the better series within the Law & Order franchise. But of course, the Law & Order show that is still going today and that I can watch more easily either on Netflix or because it's always being marathoned on some channel or other is of course Law & Order SVU. Again, this is not what you would think of as a comforting television show because most of the episodes are pretty creepy, kind of disturbing. The crimes against children are the most distressing, for me at least, but I still find myself sucked in and I still find myself in a better mood afterwards. As a fan of the show, I like Olivia Benson as a main character, though I do prefer her older episodes. I feel like it's a little bit, ever since she's become a producer, it's kind of become the Olivia show, which is not what it should be, in my opinion. But I really was not a huge fan of her first partner, Elliot. He was just a little bit too angry white man for me, so unfortunately I will watch his episodes, but I'm not the hugest fan of his seasons. But I really liked the 3 or 4 seasons with Nick Amaro. I just felt like he, one, brought a little bit more different diversity to the cast, which is always nice, but he also had very specific character traits that related to specific cases. So I felt like he was a little bit more intriguing of a character. Of her partners, Nick Amaro was definitely my favorite. Now, when it comes to Dick Wolf's Chicago series, I would say my current favorite is definitely Chicago Med. I know, again, this is not like the most thought-provoking, well-done television out there. In fact, I'm pretty sure a lot of the medical procedures aren't very factually accurate. However, there are a few characters in the show that I just really enjoy watching every week, specifically Dr. Choi, mainly because it's really nice to see an Asian male in a lead on a primetime drama. He is a doctor, a military doctor at that, and he's incredibly masculine. Like, that is so important for America to see masculine, attractive Asian men in leading roles. I also really love Dr. Charles, who is the head of psychiatry, and his resident, Dr. Reese. She was a character I wasn't so sure about when the show first aired. I found she was a little flat, but I just think that she and Dr. Choi actually have had probably the most well-written character development on the show as a whole. Now, I first got into the Chicago series by watching Chicago PD, which is about the Chicago Police Department Intelligence Unit and is, I think, definitely a different police procedural than what we generally see on network television. It's a little bit grittier, it's definitely darker. So I really enjoyed Chicago PD for seasons 1 and 2. I thought, like I said, it was different, it was gritty, and it had really great character interactions. I thought that each character in the ensemble cast was really strong and really kind of could hold their own. Unfortunately, as time has gone on, I think that the show has started to lose some of its grit and some of its edge, which is really what set it apart from every other cop procedural out there. I also think that a lot of the cases they've been tackling this season specifically have been kind of cases where you think, okay, why is the intelligence unit specifically on that? Why isn't that a violent crimes, or why isn't that a homicide case? And it feels like the writers are kind of running out of intelligence case ideas, and so they're kind of dropping what made the unit specifically unique. I also have watched Chicago Fire, and there was about a 3-month period in 2015 when I was really into it, but unfortunately it's just a little bit more, it's kind of like a Grey's Anatomy, where it's less about the medicine, or in this case less about the firefighting, than it is about the internal house drama, and I'm just not quite as into that. I do still enjoy watching that occasionally, and I'm really in love with the character of Otis. Just, you know, just I feel like that about him. That ended up turning into a bit of a Dick Wolf universe review, but I want to move on now. Another show that I really enjoy, and again is not great television, but I keep coming back to, and that is Blue Bloods. Now this is a CBS police procedural, and it stars Tom Selleck and Donnie Wahlberg, and I think what I really like about it is kind of the family element. The basic plot of Blue Bloods is that it follows the Reagan family, which is a family that has been constantly in public service to the city of New York. So they have a current police commissioner, and his father was the former police commissioner. They have a current violent crimes detective, a beat cop, and a deputy district attorney. So you really get this really multifaceted view of the New York justice system. I think what makes this show stand out within the slew of police procedurals that are out there is that you do get this multifaceted view of the criminal justice system. And I think what's really interesting is that you specifically get the more political side of policing when you learn about things from the police commissioner's point of view. That's something that you don't get in other police shows, and I think a lot of the times kind of the police brass or the police like higher ups often come in on other shows as these kind of bad guys, these kind of luminous, boring, overly stuffy figures that want to make life hard for the beat cops and the detectives. But in Blue Bloods, you really get a look at how human every single element of the criminal justice system is, and how, yes, everybody is liable to mistakes. Again, this is one you can find on Netflix, and while I can't pitch it to you guys as the most stimulating television ever, it is one that I continue to go back to. And the last show I wanted to talk about is actually a new discovery, and that is Code Black. I believe this is, again, a CBS show, and this has only had 2 seasons, and they have not announced whether it has been signed for a 3rd season or not, so I'm actually eagerly anticipating that announcement. Code Black, the television show, is actually based on the documentary Code Black, which is, I think, available on Netflix, or at least it was, so I would go check for that. But it's about the lack of resources in America's emergency room departments. In an emergency room setting, a Code Black basically means that you have more patients to treat than you have resources to treat them with, whether that is staff, whether that is actual like beds or medical supplies. It's basically a period in which you have all of these injured and sick people and you can't do enough for them. So the show Code Black is set in a Los Angeles hospital. They call it Angels Memorial, but I think it's actually based off of the big medical center over by USC in Los Angeles, where they do currently have the highest Code Black rate in the country. I would say the main character of Code Black is Leanne Rorish, who is a kick-ass emergency doctor. She is the head of Angels Memorial's residency program in the emergency department, and she is just really intense. And I would say this is definitely one of the more intense medical dramas out there because they are in the emergency room. It's not like Chicago Med, if you want to compare the two that I've talked about here. Chicago Med is very glossy and it's very, clean and very orderly, but in Code Black it's like blood is everywhere, people are running around, throw me that catheter tube, it's organized chaos. And honestly, I'm always watching the episodes, I'm always like, this has got to be choreographed ahead of time because there are so many moving parts. It's really astonishing the shots they can get. So I would definitely recommend this show for anybody who is interested in battlefield medicine, emergency medicine, anybody who likes a medical show that's more about the medicine than it is about the doctor drama. Of course, that's not to say that there isn't any drama, because that would just be untrue. There are very interesting, different, colorful characters, and there is a little bit of interpersonal drama there, but it's definitely less Grey's Anatomy, more straight up medicine, if that makes sense. And because I've been talking for a while, I'm gonna cut myself off there, but I just wanted to share with you guys the shows that I go back to when I'm feeling crappy and I just want to put on something familiar, something I know I'm going to enjoy, and just enjoy the ride. If you guys would like to share with me your own comfort television shows down below, I would love to read about them. I think it would be really interesting. But otherwise, that is all I have for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and the rest of my BookTube birthday week, and I hope you will stick around because I have more videos coming at you soon. Bye!